Alright, so in this video, I'm gonna show you a Flask game that I created. So the game allows players to test their knowledge on Pokemon typing. The type matchup data is based on the Pokemon Generation 9, aka Scarlet and Violet. The technology involved in this project includes Flask as the back-end framework, and the front end I use Jinja 2 template with Bootstrap CSS. Right, so this project is on GitHub, so you can see the code by going to my GitHub. And this project is currently live on Python Anywhere. The IDE I use for this project is VS Code. And later on in this video, I'm gonna cover a demo and a look at the architecture as well as a code walkthrough. All right, so let's launch the game's website. So you can see the URL right here. So just head over down here to the card where it says start game and just click to begin. Right, so in each game, you will be asked 5 questions that looks like this. You can see your progress at the top where it shows you the current question number. So right now I'm on question 1 and there is a total of 5 questions. So the question will present an attack party and a defense party. You'll need to select the correct attack effectiveness from the options available. So let me just pick one and then move on to the next question. And let me just quickly finish off like all the questions right here. So right now we are at question 5. So we are going to submit. Okay. So once you finish all 5 questions, you will be directed to this result page where it shows you your total score and provide feedback on your answers. So if you like to restart the game, you can simply click play again. Alternatively, you can just go back to the home page and then click start game to start a new game. All right, let me just try something real quick. So attack party still 0.5, Ghost Dragon, that's probably 1. Bug Dragon, I have no idea. Bug Rock, I think Rock can crush Bug, so maybe not very effective. Dragon Flying, wow, these questions are tough. All right, so yeah. So that's what I want to show you. So if your score is like 4 out of 5, above 3, then you'll get a thumbs up, right? And if it's below, I think if it's below 3 or 2, then it will give you a sad face. So I want to talk about the high-level architecture of the project. First, we have a user interface that you saw earlier, and it's created using Jinja 2 template with Bootstrap 5. When a user accesses certain URL or click on certain buttons, the app is going to trigger the API endpoint through Flask route and then call the function associated with it. What happens next is that the function will then interact with the type matchup data as well as the Flask sessions to create the quiz questions, the correct answers, store user answers, as well as the game progress. And eventually it's going to return the quiz result and then send it back to the user interface. All right, now I'm gonna walk through the code. So how does it work? First, when the user enters the home page, they are directed to our home route, which renders the home.html template. The home template. And on this page, you can see a card with a button that says Start Game. And once you click on it, a post request will be sent to the quiz reset route under the Pokemon blueprint. And that's just go over there. So routes, Pokemon, and quiz reset. Now, this function, it resets the user's game data from related session variables. There are 3 main session variables: questions, current question, and score. I will talk about this in more detail later. And once this session has been reset, the function redirects and calls the quiz type chart function, which is right at the top here. So this function accepts both get and post requests when this function is called from the quiz reset function, it receives a get request. And inside the function is where most of the game logic happens. So first, we define the total number as 5, which is the number of questions user will see when playing the game. And if the question key is not in the session, which means the game has not been initiated, then the code will create a new set of questions, aka a new quiz. So what I did here was to randomly choose 5 questions out of the 324 combinations from the type chart data. So just give you a quick look at the type chart. So this is all the combinations: attack party, defense party, and the correct answer, which is the effectiveness. Once we have the questions, the list is then saved to the questions key in the session. And next, we need to keep track of the current question the player is on. And the next one is the accumulated score so far in the quiz. And since now we are using the get request, we skip this section and then just move on. At this point, we have the questions and it's time to display them to the user. If the current question number we starts at 0 is below the total number of question, we grab the question and uses its data to render the quiz type chart .html template. So you can see me sending this data into this template, right? So let's just take a look at the template over here. So this template, it displays the attack party, the defense party, and the options the user can choose from. And if there are still questions left, the user will see the next button. If the user is on the last question of the quiz, then they will see the submit button instead. So once the form is submitted, the quiz type chart function will be called again. And this time, the first section is skipped because we already have the question in the session. And since this is now a post request, the code will execute the post section. And here, the user's answer is grabbed, stored in the session, and then compared to the correct answer. If the answers match, then 1 point will be added to the score. Then, we're just gonna increment the question number so we can display the next question to the user. So this process will repeat until the user reaches the final question and clicks submit. The code will run the post section one last time and then just redirect. It's gonna come over here and redirect to the quiz result function. In this function, I display the questions and the score of the quiz. So let's check out this template. Results.html. And at the top, you can see that I did some calculation here. So the score will be calculated in percentage form, since the total question number might not be 5, that in the future, the users might be able to choose their own number of questions. So I did a percentage calculation here. If the score is below 50%, the result title will display a red text with a sad face. If the score is above 80%, then it will display a green text with a thumbs up. And then the next part is the result card. So over here, the page displays the correct answer and the user's answers if there's a mismatch. Otherwise, it tells the user, hey, you got it right, and shows the answer. If the user skipped the question, which is allowed in this game, it will simply say, hey, you missed this one, right? So from here, the user can simply leave the web page or click on play again to reset the game and just start a new one. So let's now talk about the possible future expansion on this app. So this app is actually a multi-tool app. Tools like stocks risk reward calculation or mortgage payment calculation, they can be added to the app. And that's why you see in the routes and templates folder, they are designed to be expandable. The Pokemon quiz itself, though, it can be enhanced to include more complex questions for more experienced players. questions like multi-typing versus multi-typing, where you have to do a little bit of calculation to get the correct answer. And to achieve that, the first thing would probably be changing the effectiveness in the JSON data from string to decimal value, so it can be easily used for answer calculation. All right, there we have it. This is my Pokemon type chart quiz game demo. Thanks for watching.